what gets me about him is his complete disconnect with with a pattern of logic. And so specifically, and I was going to let this go, but specifically with this Mother Mary being just a Jewish girl that told a lie on getting pregnant. Okay. So with that, which is really in their day and time is pretty outrageous, and especially from her area. And but anyway, I'm not going to go into that. What I want to mention is the logic. There's a complete disconnect that is really, like I say, that really jumps the tracks. And so it's different when you have a Jewish girl that gets pregnant and says an angel did it, and says, and there's a star, and then there's a magi that come from different areas, and the other things that happen before the birth, which being John the Baptist, who was also witnessed and testified to it, to who he was. But what gets me is it's not, oh, a Jewish girl lied about getting pregnant and said it was a holy son of God, and then nothing else happened. She went away and he went away in quiet, and she didn't get killed or beheaded or stoned or whatever they did to women that were that promiscuous, okay? Or that disgraced her husband, or brought shame to her community or family name. So, whatever consequences that brought on for that time. Nowadays, I don't think there is any consequences. So anyway, just like there's no consequences for a woman that lies about a kid that's not her. She can have a kid, the man paying for a kid that's not his. There's no consequences. She can lie about a woman, man raping her, destroy his career. There's no consequences. So there's something to be said. Maybe they didn't have a court system, but there were consequences. Okay, we still have consequences today. If a little boy, this 14-year-old little boy that accidentally killed his brother from later playing darts and stuff like that, is getting locked away for all of his life. For 14 years old, he made a terrible mistake. Not like somebody who goes on a shooting spree, and kills 20 people. Anyway, this is a case where a mother loses 2 sons. But anyway, speaking of disconnects and jumps from the tracks. Anyway, so let me get back on the train of thought. My problem with what he's saying is like the other areas where this connects together. This was a Jewish woman that immaculately conceived a child, and then the child went on to be the most to be the most historic person. I mean, if you have AD and BC, that's pretty historic. Anybody come that the whole time change thing. Beyond that, just his teachings, the books, the Bible, the Torah, and everything else. Now, not everybody agrees, Jewish and Christian, Judeo-Christian, whatever. Now, everybody agrees. There's a lot of Orthodox Jews that are still looking for the Messiah. But my point is there's a disconnect in logical thinking when you say there's a disconnect in pattern. You are not following the pattern when you say this was just an ordinary situation or case of a Jewish woman that just got pregnant and lied about it. The fruit, the verification, even Jesus says, judge a fruit by its tree. A bad tree can't bear good fruit, just like gay marriage. Bad trees can't bear good fruit. Okay, so the fact of the matter is, and not that I'm judging, I always got to put in that clause because somebody's gonna say it. I'm not judging anybody on what sins they have, because everybody has sins. And that's why, like I say, I have no hate for nobody. It's not about that. It's just right is right and wrong is wrong. And it doesn't change for anybody. That's the laws of the universe. And that's what Al Sharpton was saying. Else we will change our morality based on who's got the money and who's in power. And this thing is a political agenda. And that's a problem. And if you don't like what I'm saying, I can't help you. You probably don't like it, and I can't help you. If you want to subscribe, nice knowing you, But I'm going to be who I am, and I'm going to speak what I need to speak and say what I need to say, And you're probably just hanging around just to take ideas and video concepts anyway. So, a lot of people, man. I'm like, the R&D department for the hip hop, for the videos and a lot of stuff. What really surprises me? One thing I learned about YouTube is that people have lost their joy. And boy, they just, and when they look at me and they say, well, why are you happy? Mainly because I just forgive people when stuff happens. I just don't bear it. I just, I find a way to get it out of my system. I focus on that. I try to deal with it. And it's easier because I go to God. And He always have a solution for the problem. So I thank Him for that. But sometimes somebody could say something to me, and depending on who it is, if I love them, I can get sick. It'll physically affect me. Anyway, but until I work it out of my system, I'm trying to forgive them for putting that bad that bad drama at me. This guy tried to judge me recently. He said, "You going to hell?" I said, when you get to heaven, when you get to the gate, tell God I forgave you for that. Maybe that'll help you. He says, "No, you go to hell, for being part-time Christian." I said, no, He gonna say you reap what you sow, and since you like forgiving people, I'm gonna forgive you, and I said, since you like judging people, he's the judge, He gonna judge you. anyway, I'm never trying to get back to my next point. My next point being is that the sense of morality. Morality, there has to be an unchanging, undividing, unchanging rule to morality, else we will change it and put any kind of bull crap in it we want. I said it before on my last video. Laws of marriage and the whole thing of marriage is the genitals follow the law, not the law follow genitals. Okay, you don't make laws based on your genital. Just because you cut off your thing don't make you a woman, and therefore you can get married. You're not a woman. Okay, you're still a man. Okay, so the law is not based on your genitalia. Okay, that's why you have to have a sovereign, governing, unchanging rule. I mean, it's not even law. It's law that is based. It says in the Bible that man is innately evil. It is his nature right now, because of our flesh. Our flesh, it comes up and it goes down. All flesh is grass. It comes up and it gets mowed down, and it comes out of the ground, it goes back in the ground. It goes up and it declines. And that's right now, it's on the up. The flesh is on the up, and it'll go back down, And so that's what the other person said. There's surges of it. So that's the important thing. Man is not just naturally good. It's our goodness, our good nature comes from God. Period. It is not in us. It's not in our skin. It's not. It's a goodness. It's a spiritual kind of thing. It's a beyond. It's like faith and all of that kind of stuff is it says is a it's a beyond. It comes from somewhere else. The faith of cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. That doesn't say it comes from faith. Come by speaking. Man speaking it. It doesn't say that. It's not from man to God. It's Jesus is God's way of reaching down to man. Yes, it is 5 a.m. God bless you all. Hey, how you doing?